Hello everyone and welcome back to Mod Fridays. We're here in the FTB world of Mistral, named after a big gust of wind that heads between someplace in... Oh man, I looked this up the other day. Anyway, so this setup is still generating power like crazy. I found out that there is some conflicts happening with the hydroangies here. They're not as efficient as they could be because they're directly next to each other, but I think they're more efficient this way than if I put this tower up against a wall, because then it'll only have 3 water source blocks touching it as opposed to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, with a slight reduction in quality because of its proximity to another one. Right now, the only one operating at peak efficiency is the one in the middle. And I had those machines. I had both those machines running, the pulverizer and the furnace running, to get us a whole bunch of ingots for today. And the power supply there seemed to have had no problem keeping up with the demand. So I don't see any reason to change it, despite of that slight issue. But so I'm not going to, not yet anyway. Moving on, one of today's plans I wanted to get done is the cable we're using is nice and all. Don't get me wrong, super cool. But at the same time, it's like it requires quite a bit of redstone to make a lot of it, and then eventually we're gonna have to upgrade it, and it's just gonna be a pain. However, there is an alternative type of cabling in here. If I look it up, cable. That is not how you spell cable. I promise I can spell. And it is... Is it called cabling? I was pretty sure it was called cable. I don't see it here. Maybe wire? Maybe it's wire. Is it here? No, it's not. I don't think it's a duct like these ones. Conduit. Conduit is what it's called. There it is. Okay. So we have these energy conduits, which are made with conduit binder, which is super easy to make. You get 4 per one of these, so making this gets you 32. Doing this recipe once gets you 32 of this stuff, which is awesome. And then it's just made with conductive iron, which is made with a alloy smelter. It's just redstone and iron. So it's 3 redstone for 8 of these, as opposed to for the flux ducts, it's I think 6 redstone for 1, or no, 6 redstone for 6. So it's 1 per. This is slightly less, but we also have the option to go straight to these ones, which is just gold, redstone, and glowstone. Easy enough, and that lets me transfer 5,120 RF every tick, which is pretty awesome. But it doesn't stop there. Then there's also the Ender Energy Conduit, which lets you transfer 20,480 RF per tick, which I think even the Redstone Energy Cell can't output. I don't believe it. I'm pretty sure that's correct. And to make these, all you need to do is make that one from before and put it in here with an ender pearl. And that'll make 8. So 1 gold, 1 redstone, and 1 glowstone, and 1 ender pearl. Or 3 of each of those. Sorry, 3 of those gets you 8 of these, which, you know, isn't too bad. But to make either of those, we're gonna need we're gonna need the alloy smelter that this stuff is made in. So unfortunately you can't make it with the induction smelter. The induction smelter only allows for 2 input. This requires 3. I don't know. Can you make this with the induction smelter? No. Oh, interesting. This can be found in dungeon chests at the blacksmith. Interesting. Didn't know that. Good to know. Did we find a village? I don't remember. No, we didn't. That might be a project for one day. But anyways, let's look at the alloy smelter. Alloy. There it is. Third on the list. Oh, and I'm still in the type. Type. I can just click on it. I should know that, right? I should be able to... Yes, okay. So we're going to need 4 iron, a cauldron, and 3 furnaces. So let's just do this one step at a time, and we'll go from the out toward the in. So we need a cauldron. Whoops, there we go. Perfect. We need 4 iron, and we need 3 furnaces. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And 2. I got quite a bit of cobblestone from starting the strip mine. Finally got around to doing that. So there we go. And now we need to make this machine casing, which is 4 iron bars and 4 more iron. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And 16 of these. Perfect. And lastly, we need this basic comparator, which is 2 redstone, 4 gold nuggets, and a piece of copper. And let's see here. I'm going to take you. I'm going to open you up, or split you up, I guess. 1, 2, 3, 4. And let's go like so. Oh, there we go. Basic comparator. And then we go 1, 2, 3, 4. There's our machine casing, and here we go. Furnaces. Those were all furnaces, right? Please don't make... Yes, perfect. 3 furnaces for 3 input. Makes sense. Now we have these iron bars. We probably... Yeah, we already had iron bars. Whoops. Just thought of it as I was going to put them away. Oh well. We'll be able to make more... this is Ender.io, is the mod that this is all from, by the way. And let's see. I think I'll build thermal expansion out this way. I'll put Ender.io over here. So let's knock this guy out. Well, let's go get that piece of cobblestone because I'm a hoarder. And leadstone energy duct right there. And an alloy smelter right here. And it's getting powered. Perfect. It takes 100,000 RF to power up. I'm going to go show off the amazing flux power that our little Botania setup is giving off. Hopefully I can get there before this fills up completely again. That's how quick it is. You see, we're producing power very quickly. This hasn't dropped at all. These are staying, well, actually. These are depleting, but they'll still be firing fast enough to keep us set. Right? Yeah, so even at this small amount of bursts every so often, it still appears to be keeping up, which is just amazing. So that setup is working better than I imagined, which is just awesome, to be quite frank. So we now have this thing. That's cool. The next thing we're probably going to want to do is we're going to want to start getting ourselves some ender pearls. Now, we do have ender lily seeds, right? And we do have space in our farm. We could just, start growing some ender lilies. However, they grow like ridiculously slow. There are options to increase the growth rate with stuff like, I think Thaumcraft would help. I've never actually tried it, but I think the Lamp of Growth would help. There's also the Sigil of Growth, or something like that in Blood Magic. But I'm not going to touch that either. I think right now, the simplest and cheapest option for us would be to use Endstone. Is there no Endstone here? Is it called something different? I don't think it is. Endstone. Why wasn't it showing up? Whatever. So that is achieved by fluid transposing some resonant ender onto some sandstone. I think there's another way to make it. Resonant ender onto obsidian. Okay, so actually the redstone would be, or the sandstone would be cheaper. Witchery allows me to double the amount. Yeah, okay. Sandstone and resonant ender seems to be the easiest option. So it's going to take some ender pearls to make ender pearls, but that's fine. I'm just going to get that started, and then we'll focus on something else for today. I think I want to start up with some other mods, something less technology based. I think I'm going to get started with one of the mods I mentioned just briefly, not too long in this very episode. So we'll set that to get emptied now, and then let's move on to something else. So, options for mods that we have in here to look further into. We've already done a bit of Botania, so... and I'm probably not going to get into that until much later on. Into the higher end Botania stuff, until much later on. Because I really don't need to. Other options would be to get our blood magic setup started. And to be perfectly honest, that's something I probably want to get started sooner than later. But I definitely want to set up an area for that, and I'll probably do that off camera. So for today, we want something that we can put down now, either in a temporary setup or set aside a room we already have for it, or whatever. Or something... actually, no. Yeah, that's pretty much all we want to do. So, I think we have two options. I don't remember, but do we have... We do have Mistcraft. Mistcraft would be an interesting option. The ability to go create our own little worlds, explore them, gather resources from there, and then maybe even purpose different universes for different mods. That might be an interesting thing to do. So that's an option. Another option would be at Thaumcraft. Thaumcraft would be pretty nice. It's a mod I'm very familiar with, and it's one of my favorites, definitely. So that's an option, and I think that's the option I'm going to go with. So if I remember correctly, we do have a Thaumonomicon already on us. I'm going to put you away and you away for now. I have a stone sword on me for some reason. So the first thing we're going to need to do is we're going to need a wand. So to make that, I'm going to need the most basic of wands. Let's see, an iron cap like so. So all we need to do is take some iron nuggets. Oop. 5 of you. Oh. Uh-oh. There we go. There we go. Iron caps. Boop, boop. And a stick. And that gives ourselves an iron capped wand. Pretty handy, right? Yeah. Next thing we're going to need are some tables. Boop, boop. Actually, I'm going to need 2 of you anyway, so let's go like this. Tables, and I'm going to need a 3rd, actually. I probably have wooden slabs somewhere now that I think about it. Yep. Oh well. So there we go. And let's just set this up somewhere in here for now. Because why not? So first I'm going to take this wand and I'm going to right click on one of these tables. Boop. And that makes us an arcane workbench. Pretty nice. The next thing we're going to need is we are going to need... do I have any feathers? No. Okay, well, that's a bust. The next thing I'm going to need is I'm going to need to go get some shards. I was going to get some research paper, but I guess we'll put that off until we've got this next thing done. Hopefully we can see some exposed here. Actually, yeah, we probably want to get this step done first, because the next step is pretty much useless until we have this done. It's just going to sit there aimlessly until we have what we need. Let's check down here. I'm looking for Thaumcraft shards. That's not an opening. Oh, come on. These things are typically everywhere. It's rare that I've had trouble finding them. But of course, if I'm recording it, it's going to be a pain, right? That's how YouTube works. Okay. Normally I can just walk into any cave at any time and I'll find one of these things, but today it's deciding to be difficult. Okay. There we go. Food. I'm getting low on potatoes. I'm gonna need to start cooking up another batch. Let's see here. I'm really surprised there are none just sitting out in the open in this thing. Oh yeah, there's a baby zombie somewhere. I don't want to meet him. Although he probably sees me. Oh, there's what we're looking for. Okay. You, I don't want to mess with, but I probably will have to. Oh, nope. There we go. Okay, and there's some fire ones down there too. Perfect. Okay, well, this looks safe enough. So let's go here. 1, 2. May as well grab them all. I hear the baby zombie moving. 7. And I'm gonna grab these ones while we're here. Because why not? Unless there is a fall. I really don't want that baby zombie showing up to knock me off. Oh, there's tons of them here. Look at this. Oh. Oh boy. Whoo. Ho. Ho. Ho ho ho. Let's just... Yes, all of that. So the lava broke enough of our fall for us to survive. And then the water put out the lava for us. So we got out of that way better than we should have. I should have just taken the shards and left. Oh. Okay. And now I'm going to bucket climb out of here. Oh, the bucket climb. Age-old technique. There's a villager down. Oh no, it's a hobgoblin. That's what it is. I rarely play modded Minecraft with sounds on. Just because I'm usually listening to something else in the background while I'm playing. So... I know I've been recording this for like months now, so I probably should be used to it by now, but... I play so many things, right? Let's go in here. Pick you up. I hear a skeleton. This isn't going to be fun. Let's go up here. There we go. So, if you're ever stuck at the bottom of a cavern, this is how you can get out. It's a trusted technique. It's an effective technique, and it gets you exactly where you want to be. I'm not going to get greedy. I'm going to leave these here. I'm probably going to need specific shards of specific types. And if I ever need them, I'll remember where they were. I tend to have a good memory of where stuff was, as long as it's not a huge cave system. This is really close to home, so I don't think I'll forget. Alrighty, so I honestly can't believe I survived that. That was insane. So what we're gonna need now is two of you, and glass is over here. One of you. Okay, so if I remember correctly, no, that's wrong. It's up and down, right? Yeah. Nope, I was right the first time. Perfect. And that gives us our thermometer. Now what you use this for is you go out and you look at something, like this piece of cobblestone here, and all you have to do is hold right click and it tells you what that thing is made of. So cobblestone is made of earth and perditio, which is entropy. So terra and perditio. So cobblestone is just basically destroyed stone. Simple, easy, understandable, and things do have a logical progression to them. So if you ever find yourself stuck, just think of what you could combine to get a result. I'll get more into that eventually, but there we go, piece of endstone. I don't think we'll be able to scan this guy in particular just yet, so let's go outside. I'm gonna put this down here, I guess. And then I'm gonna plant an ender lily. Oop. Now I think these guys grow twice as fast on endstone as they do on dirt. So I don't know how long that's going to take, but it's going to take a while. So I'm going to scan a few more things just so you guys get the hang of it. Like this furnace. It's made from cobblestone, so it's got the same two aspects as cobblestone, but it also smelts stuff, so fire. Simple, right? Dirt is just earth. Stone is just earth. Salt is earth and water. Salt as in sea salt, right? So some things don't have aspects, like limestone from the Chisel 2 mod. Nothing can be learned from this. You can see in the bottom right hand corner of the screen it says that nothing can be learned from that. Do we have glass panes for windows upstairs? I think we do. Some vanilla items, weirdly enough, don't have aspects, such as glass panes. Let's see. So if I try to, let's try something here that I can't understand, just so you guys get a hang of that. Wood planks, you think pretty basic game element of the game, right? It's pretty much the first item you'll get, right? Can't scan it. To understand this, I need to study plants. Makes sense, right? Wood is based on plants, right? It makes total sense. But what are plants made out of? So you might think, okay, well I can get that from scanning the grass. Oh, but to understand this, I need to study the sources of life. Makes sense. Plants are alive, need to study life. So there is definitely a form of progression to this mod that is very intuitive if you think about it. So should I... Yeah, to get this raspberry I need to study plants. I believe... but let's think of... let's try to discover something new. So right now our character has the base understanding of all the basic aspects. We know about air, we know about water, we know about fire, we know about order, we know about entropy, and we know about earth. Simple enough. We know all that stuff. Even though we haven't scanned those, we know about them because that's the fundamental elements of the universe. But if I scan a torch, you'll see we just discovered this little candle-looking aspect. And if you read down at the bottom right corner, it says, gain 3 research points for Lux. So we discovered a new aspect. If we go in here, you'll see Lux is the combination of air and fire. So aspects in Thaumcraft combine in 2s. So you'll never have something that's made of 3 aspects, but you will have something that is made out of 2. It could be one of the 2 that it's made out of, could be another one that's made out of 2. So it trickles down to 4 or 5 or 6, but it's only 2 aspects that made up that individual piece. We should be able to do coal here, if I try that. And there you go, it gave us Potentia, which is the combination of order and fire. So it's pretty simple. Potentia is the aspect of energy. Coal you burn to get energy, and a lot of stuff, you know, it produces energy. So it's super simple, super easy. The research can get a little tricky, but we'll get into that in the next one. We're pretty much at time for today, so yeah, that'll be it for today. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed all that fun stuff. In the next one, I'll have tons more stuff scanned for Thaumcraft, and I can give a brief go through of this thing to show you what had what aspects, if you guys are interested. If I discover compound aspects off screen, I'll show you how I discovered them or what I did in the research table to discover them. You can discover aspects in the research table, or you can just discover them by scanning stuff. So I'll give you the rundown of that stuff in case you just want to kind of like a speed run through the research collection for Thaumcraft, because that can be a pretty grindy process. And then we'll also get into, I'll do my best to expand the Ender Lily farm off screen. Hopefully I can get a few of those running by the next one. And we'll look into other options we have. For now, we're going to be able to do just fine with the leadstone energy conduits, or leadstone flux ducts. So we're probably just going to leave that at that for now. But I did want to get the setup right now so that we can get to power upgrades sooner than later. Alright, so thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed all that fun stuff. I'll see you guys in the next one, and yeah, bye for now.